welcome back to the channel, KevSpec. Well, I've got some good news. Only just, but yeah, we've got some good news on the car. So as you guys that follow along watched in the last video, started having some transmission troubles, and it really got bad at All Ford Day about a month ago. Give you a quick update. This is my 2008 Falcon G6E Turbo. Built everything, recently built the motor. Runs about 30 PSI on the big tune, making 630 odd kilowatt, 1,000 crank horsepower. And yeah, just once we wound it up last year, started having a few troubles with the auto. So the first thing that started was it wouldn't downshift sometimes. So you go to downshift from fourth to third, it'd select third and it wouldn't go in and just change back up to fourth. Same if you select second, it'd display second and then go back to third and it wouldn't shift. And I'm like, all right. That progressively got worse to, like I said, sort of around All Ford Day and just before February, March sort of area this year. It actually come up with a fault code when I was giving it a bit through the mountains on a hot day, 3/4 shift. So I knew there was something going on. And like I said, All Ford Day, went into limp mode, the transmission overheated. Due to the transmission cooler being too close to the exhaust, which we've since fixed, and I'll show you that in the little clip soon. It's a lot better than it was. I know it's still near the exhaust, but at least we've got clearance, there's airflow between it, we've heat wrapped the exhaust, and yeah. Here we are at RVO, flushing the transmission, gonna try some tuning on the auto. It's probably already dead, but we'll give it a crack. Alrighty, we're just checking the transmission fluid. Here's obviously the transmission cooler. It's away from the exhaust. It's not great, but it's a lot better than it was. And we've just dropped the transmission plug, and it looks like I might have spec-oed it again. That should piss out of there, and it didn't. So anyway, the transmission was hurt, and it looks like I've hurt it even more. Good one, Kev. Alrighty guys, just here with Dave the Master at RVO, doing what he does. You won't be able to see all this on the laptop, guys. I'm not even going to try because of the sun glare, but basically Kevo, I think I showed you on the hoist, looks like I might have stuffed it and not filled the transmission correctly, as I do. You know, you guys know it's KevSpec. I don't get everything right and shit happens. So we're going to try and save it. We've changed the oil, we've changed the filter, we're going to play with the tune. Apparently the pressures aren't that high, so it's got a what you'd call almost a baby tune in it.
Quite low, yeah. So like, yeah, we're only about 6 bar, where at this power level I'd normally be around 15 bar. So
yeah, the box should have, it's got a lot more tunability in it basically.
Oh, for sure. Well, we're at 15 bar, we can go to 33 bar.
There you go, guys.
I could make a shift that hard, I could pull the diff out of the floor.
There you go. So we're at about 5%, maybe 10% of what the box pressure
half,
level.
Yeah, probably half now.
Oh, probably,
probably half.
Now, yeah, but before we're probably at about
maybe
20% of what the box can actually do.
Yep.
So we're going to up the line pressures. We've changed the shift pattern a bit. Dave's going to work his magic, and hopefully this will survive. You know, I'm prepared for another auto. I've already.
You don't worry about it. It'll go. Don't you worry.
Yeah, well, Dave's confident, so we'll see how we go.
I'm confident.
Alrighty, guys. This is a quick update. KevSpec's transmission. Fast forward to a couple of weeks ago, about 3 weeks ago, we had the mini meet, the kebab shop meet. I changed the oil the day of that meet on the auto, and it looks like I stuffed it up. Once again, guys, it's KevSpec, you know, I muck things up, but the beauty of it is, hopefully you guys can learn from it. That's the whole purpose of when I do these little updates and tutorials, and when I stuff things up and I try and show you what I've done wrong, so you guys don't make the same mistake. Especially you young guys, you know. The ZF transmission is a fairly modern transmission and you need to know what you're doing. I knew, you know, the trans temp had to be between 40 and 50 degrees centigrade. Drain it, obviously, refill it, start it, run it through the gears and refill it. But I forgot the crucial step, that the car must be running on the second refill, the final basic refill. The car must be running. These torque converters are quite large. They hold like nearly 5 litres of oil just in the torque converter. So what happens when you turn the key off, when you turn the key off and the engine stops, all that oil out of the torque converter drains back into the pan, doesn't it? So it gives you a false high level. So you've got to have the engine running, and I didn't, and I mucked up. So basically, I'll show you in a clip in a second. The transmission could have been as much as 2 litres empty, and on a high-powered car, when you obviously accelerate hard, all the oil goes to the back of the pan, so it needs to be as full as possible. Preferably a little bit overfull is probably the best thing, you know, about 1 litre overfull or something, half a litre overfull. So that's what caused the slipping on the kebab night. We're very confident of that. We'll get to it in a minute because the car's running mint. Massive thanks to Dave at RVO. He's the one that built this transmission. Like I said in the last video, this has done 4 years of really hard work, guys. 500 kilowatt for a couple of years, 560 kilowatt for a couple of years, now 630 kilowatt for about a year. So the gearbox is a bit worn. So we had 2 separate issues. The downshifting, not wanting to select gears on the downshift, and the slipping. Now, obviously, we found low oil, so she doesn't slip in 3rd gear. So the last 2 times I drove it, every time I booted it in 3rd gear, it'd slip. It only slipped 3, maybe 4 times, and I got off it straight away. So, you know, didn't cook the oil too much. The oil was a little bit cooked, but yeah, hopefully we've saved it. And the downshifting was tuned out of it. So basically the auto's a bit worn, yeah. Don't crucify me if I don't explain this correctly, but these modern autos have I think an on and off clutch, yeah, like a clutch that lets go of the gear and a clutch that grabs the next gear to engage it. Now they're all timed and it's all load deterrent. There's so many ways to tune these autos. They've got different load maps in performance mode, drive mode, different settings for Tiptronic, acceleration based, RPM based. Yeah, and a mixture of all 3. Yeah, you can have different shifts depending on the load at the particular time, depending on the RPM and so on and so forth. So basically you just tightened up the shifts and now it selects downshift, so it shifts down perfect every time. I don't know if you've been hearing, so I've probably been talking a bit, but I'm just putting along in drive here. As you know, I just putt along on the mid tune. It's about 550, 24 pound. It's more than enough for the street. I don't need the big tune. So yeah, we're just putting around. It's still putting around on 550. Still plenty of beans, yeah. But you'll hear in a minute, this thing's like a DSG now. Like it's a built trans 6R80 converted, so it can handle a bit of a firm shift. Dave said, look, we won't want to go too much harder on this auto. That it's done some work, and I've still got a stock intermediate shaft. So I believe the next thing I'll cook is probably the intermediate shaft on this. So yeah, I'll stop talking and I'll give you a bit of a listen. That was just putting around in drive, yeah. So in drive, it does shift a little firmer because we've tightened everything up, yeah. But certainly not what it's like in performance mode, and hopefully you'll pick it up because it actually chirps first to second now. Give it a little bit of throttle, you don't have to be heaps into it. And the downshift, so like I said, it's almost DSG spec. I've got to actually be careful now. I've got worn into the old habits of, it used to be a bit delayed on the downshift, and as you guys know with your ZFs that have FGs, you can double shift and it'll shift twice for you. So if you're coming into a corner, say you're in 4th gear at 80k coming into a corner, you're braking hard, you can go bang bang, and the ZF will shift twice. Now, before we tightened it up, I'd go bang bang on the selector and it'd take a second or two to go 3rd and then 2nd. There was a delay. But anyway, we'll put it in Tiptronic. Just shift straight away. Clean shift into 4th. 4th to 5th is tight, just like that. And same on the downshifts. So we're in 5th now, select 4th, bang. You probably, I don't know if the audio will pick it up, but trust me, it's bang, like. That's back to 3rd. Yeah, and no more slipping. So yeah, a bit of a win, guys. So pretty lucky. I've got a good tuner. Like once I said, we're not out of the woods. I could get, like with the head gasket in this thing, as you guys know, we lifted the head a little bit on the dyno, put some kick-ass head studs in it and clamped it down a bit more and hope for the best. That was, 4 or 5 months ago, still going strong. The auto has been hurt a little bit, yeah. We burnt the fluid and we slipped 3rd gear clutch. So the wear is there. I might get 2 weeks out of it. I might get 2 years out of it, who knows? But it is mint. Like compared to what it was, it shifts hard every single time. It's very fast selecting on the downshifts, even with the paddles. It's the same with the paddles. So we're coming into the lights here. We're in 6th gear. 5th, 4th, 3rd, 2nd, bang. I don't know if you can see that, but yeah, she bangs into gear now. So yeah, a bit of a win, been lucky. We've got some fresh fluid in it, the right amount of fluid, and yeah, quite a tight tune up on it now. Like I explained when I put that little clip up before, I don't know a lot about, like I said, the tuning in these autos or any kind of electronics and fancy software, it's beyond me, but we've gone a fair way up. Just tight as. I don't know if you could hear that, guys, but it was 1st, 2nd, bang, 3rd, bang, 4th. The way a ZF should be. So thanks, Dave. Top job again. Like I said, hopefully we've saved it. And yeah, hope you like this quick video. The auto's alive. We'll see how we go. I may make it to Barra Nationals. I've got a mate that wants to have a bit of a run with me in the territory. Good old, I think it's DJ Motorsport. DK, I think it's DJ Motorsport. He's got a really tough territory that runs mid-9s. So yeah, hopefully one day we can get a match up if this auto survives. And yeah, the ZF is strong as hell and shifting hard as hell. Yeah, like I was going to say, so when he looked at the auto, you'll see in the clip, it was, don't quote me on this, I think it was the line pressure was only at about 5 bar. So give you an idea, and that's built, like that's when it was built 4 years ago. He put it up to, that's up from standard. Standard's not 5 bar, I believe. That was in 1st, I think 2nd, 3rd and 4th. Had a little bit more than 5 bar, but not much, 6, 7 bar, whatever. These have a range from 0 to 30 bar. So you can slam 30 bar of line pressure, clamping force basically, how much clamping force you want on the clutches. It goes up to 30 bar. Now this transmission is not built for that. Obviously you need, like I said, a billet intermediate shaft and a few more goodies. But we've gone from about 5 to 6 bar to 15 bar. So that's quite a big jump, quite a lot of pressure. If you do the sums, I don't know what it is, 1 bar's 14.7 PSI. So if you do the math, 5 bars, what, 60, 70 PSI, 75 PSI at 5 bar. And we've pretty much tripled it. So we've gone from like 70 PSI to 200 PSI in the shifts. Don't quote me on these figures, like I said, Guy, but just rough figures in my head, you know what I mean? We've upped the shift points dramatically. It's got the 6R80 shaft in it, so it should be right, and just going to enjoy it. And yeah, we've saved the auto, but Kevo nearly stuffed it by not putting enough fluid in it. So lesson learned, guys, make sure the auto is running when you do the second fill. and just overfill it a bit so it's spurting out, slam the plug in and you're good to go. Yeah, she just shifts pretty tight now. That was even a little bit of wheel spin second to third there, and I was only just touching the throttle, guys. Didn't want to, it was about, I think about 7 or 8 pound of boost, maybe a bit more. So yeah, that's a win. Hope you like this video, guys. The ZF survives. God damn it, massive stone chip in my windscreen, great. Yeah, so lesson learned. If you're having any auto issues with your ZFs and it's, just starting like I had, don't delay, go and see your auto guy or whoever tunes your auto, and it could be tuned out. These things do wear, and they can be tuned multiple ways to harden up shifts and try and save the auto if it's a bit worn. So Kev saved the auto, that's a win. Next video coming up, we've got a cruise next weekend. Stay tuned for the footage for that. But just shifts hard and fast now. Alright, I hope you like that video. That was the last little squirt. Let it cool off a bit. Not that I've been flogging it, but yeah, so I don't know if you can hear in the audio, but it's just bang, bang, bang. It's like DSG. If you've driven DSG gearboxes, and they're just like snap, and this is obviously quick and a hard change. Once again, not recommended for standard running gear. This thing's got all the beans, built transmission, big boy tail shaft, big deep drive shaft shop axles, true track, all the goodies in the rear end. Strengthened subframe, so yeah, she performs really well. I hope you like this video. Take care. Kevy saved the transmission, but only just. Big thanks to DAVE RVO, and yeah, don't forget to like and subscribe. Have a good one, guys.